Good morning. Do you guys want to see something absolutely terrifying? No, I normally wear glasses, and this is legitimately a waking up first thing in the morning video, and doing it is my bed's not made. I have no makeup on. My hair is whatever. I don't have contacts in, and this is what it looks like in real life. The only thing I did do was make coffee. It's also pumpkin coffee. They finally have pumpkin coffee in stores that doesn't taste stale, so I am so happy. I had to take off my glasses so I'm not reflecting the ring light. So hopefully I know where the camera is. So this weekend I went to a psychic fair and I got some witchcraft things, but then right afterwards, out Halloween shopping at 2 different locations. But I'm not going to waste time yapping. Let's just see what I got, because that's what you care about, right? That's what I care about. Whenever I'm watching those haul videos, I'm like, well, it's great to hear about someone's day. I just kind of want to see what you got if I'm thinking about getting the same thing. It's nothing against anybody, but you're like, just show me. So this bag is, I'm pretty sure, almost everything from the psychic fair. So I got a little homemade sign. Like I said, I have a witch's gallery wall. So I have a whole bunch of different witch signs. And I have like different types of brooms hung up on the wall. And I'm going to put it there. But it says homemade witch's brew served daily. I don't know if there's a glare. The one thing that I will say that I am kind of disappointed with, this was $10. That's not bad. I don't think that's that bad compared to everything. But this store I used to go to all the time for many years, and I always pumped it up to everybody. And it's nothing against this store. Just lately, a lot of the witchcraft stores stopped selling stuff to do witchcraft with, really. It's just like a lot of crystals or already made oils and clothes and signs and just, I don't know. I don't know if that's just a me thing that I noticed or if you guys noticed that in your areas, but like, I don't know, it kind of makes me sad. Before, you used to be able to go in there and, look at all the herbs. All the herbs were in jars and you could, reach in and get them. I understand that they have to be pre-bagged because of COVID, but now it's the smallest amount. It's the smallest amount I personally feel, because I do bulk stock-ups for all my herbs in my jars. But then they also had candles all off to the side. Now, all of them were already pre-made. You could put your own intention into them. And they were just like basic little chime candles. There's different incense blends and roots and then cloth in case you wanted to make your own gree bags or mojo bags or poppets. And now it's not really anything like that for a bunch of my stores that are around here. Which I understand, stores have to evolve. I'm not saying anything bad about it, but now it just mostly sells clothing and signs, and it has one room full of crystals and one room full of prepackaged herbs. Definitely not as like witchy and the same as it used to, but times are changing. Maybe because like I'm older, it's a different like market for me, because I liked making everything by hand. I like putting the craft into witchcraft, and now everyone's kind of more used to like instant gratification, which I completely get. So I'm probably just griping about it from my point of view. It's nothing against that, but like I wish there was still an option to put your own twist on things when you go to these witches stores, instead of buying everything already kind of made for you, or just decoration, and kind of losing the meaning of witch in the aesthetic of it all. I hope that makes sense. I literally just woke up, so I'm really sorry. I hope I don't sound mean. I got this oracle deck, the Tree Keeper's Oracle. I'm gonna do it so there's no glare. I really like the artwork on it. So for myself, the main thing that draws me into an oracle deck, besides if the vibe from it grabs my attention, but if the artwork grabs my attention while I'm holding it in my hand. I don't know if that makes any sense. I have sleepy voice right now, so hopefully you guys can understand me and hear me. But I am very excited to go actually, I can't wait. We're going to open it right now. No, I'll wait for the end because I still have a lot more things to go through. I'll wait to the end, but hold on. A few minutes, we're going to go through this. I have some bone set that I needed for a previous spell that I kept forgetting to get, and then when I saw it there, I was like, oh yeah, I need some. Now it's in little prepackaged baggies, I believe. All the baggies are the same, so I think they fill up to about an ounce, I'm guessing. I do miss picking them myself, but I know that's most likely because of the, public health emergency, COVID, whatever you want to call it. So I understand and that I get. I got some bone set herb, and the little card on it is for protection, exorcism, and warding off evil spirits, as well as returning karma. So that's more or less the the type of spell. This one is for like a being buried alive by karma spell. And it's like a mousetrap spell. So like, you know, if it was this scenario and these things happening, then this will happen. But if that didn't happen, then you're good. I think there's other names for them, but I always just call them mousetrap spells because it's not going to activate unless you touch that, and then it just snaps down on you. All right, like I said, they have a lot of clothing there, so I got this. So it's a little waist belt with spider webs on it. Tell me, like, this reminded me of the Hex Girls from Scooby-Doo. I love Scooby-Doo so freaking much. But it's one of those, I'm wearing a shirt. I don't know how well you can see it on here. It doesn't look that good with a shirt on. But I like it. Most of you guys know my favorite color is purple, so seeing like the spiderweb purple and that kind of, I don't know, something about like this like diamond shape is always like spooky girl on the waist. Oh, of course, I got a crystal. I got a giant chunk of orca agate. I have a few pieces of orca agate. It's not normally my go-to stone. My favorite stone is moss agate and rainbow fluorite, which I'm pretty sure all of you guys know. And there was this one woman that was just kept standing in front of him and would not move at all because she was going through each one. So I wasn't gonna like expect her to move, and I was like, nah, that's her vibe right now. And I was like, all right, let me just not hover behind her and make her feel self-conscious while she's trying to pick out a stone, because I was just sitting there because I thought she was just kind of going whatever. So I'm just like la 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 waiting behind her, and she didn't end up moving anymore, and I was kind of like, oh, all right. You could tell that she was very new and like timid, so I was like, my bad. All right, let me go over here, and I saw this piece. Sorry, there's a price tag. There's 3 price tags over it, so I'm trying to see what it was before. Oh, so this was originally $20. So this is a piece of orca agate. This one just felt so good in my hand. So good. So this was $20, apparently, according, because there's like 3 stickers that were on this. And then it was $26, and now it is $16. Huh. But I was very much drawn to this crystal. Orca agate is like for calming and everything else like that. Think of the ocean, the waves of calming that like over you. And the store was very much overrun. It was very noisy and loud, and we're in the middle of a heat wave, so it was like 98% humidity, with it already feeling like 91, or it was 91 degrees, and the feel like temp was higher, or with the feel like temp, it was 91 in the shade. It was so hot and gross, and there was so many people, and there was no shade, and I was just like, I'm over this. I am so over this. And then in the store, everyone went in there to cool down, and then got worse. Oh, I actually really, really love this purchase. I have these all over my house normally. It's huge. I don't know if I get it all in. A beautiful thing of bamboo wind chimes. I have wind chimes all over my home. They're normally in the east corner of my house, except I lied. I have some in my bedroom that is definitely in the west corner, but anyway, I just love wind chimes in the house. I wish I had a porch. I would like cover the whole porch in different types of wind chimes, and those water things that come down from like the gutter, and it's like the chain ladder for the water droplets to go down. I would just want my porch to be the most whimsical place that reacts with nature. Does that make sense? And the last thing that I got there was a spray. I normally make my own sprays. So this is by Bridget's Cauldron, and it's called Girl Wash Your Aura. Like I said, I normally make my own of these. I could definitely hear some stones in there. It's filled with full moon water, witch hazel, essential oil blend of sage, palo santo, lemon, frankincense, lavender, and rosemary. So I normally use distilled moon water and a little bit of vodka for mine. I know this sounds super weird. Or a little bit of alcohol, depending on what alcohol I have. So that way I could also do it depending on what I'm doing it for, as the alcohol is an offering for the spirits. But I got this one also because it smells like really good. It's a nice blend of like the sage and the Palo Santo and like just a hint of the lemon and then like the frankincense. So it does smell pretty good. Normally sprays are very like weak smelling for me. Like they don't seem to like last as well. This one is a good smell of it, but I think it's because I just make my sprays really strong so the smell lasts, so you can still smell it on you for like an hour later. But so the smell isn't overpowering. I also want to start like selling my sprays because I make the sprays, I make the oils, I make the incense blends, I make the cob candles with my powders like packed into them or around the edges and everything blessed, and my smoke cleansing bundles of the herbs that I forage and dry. So, and all my poppets that I make from roots and cloth and all other things. I do want to start selling those eventually, I guess. It's really hard to find stuff like that in stores, and I make it myself. And a lot of my friends in my personal life that, you know, do practice witchcraft, they look for similar things when they're trying to practice and they can't find it. So I normally end up making it for them. But maybe where you guys are, those stores are more in abundance. I normally have to go to Salem or some stores in Connecticut to get those ingredients if that's what I'm looking for, because normally I just go out in the woods and get my own. We're gonna move to like the Halloween stuff. Like at a psychic fair, that was the only stuff that I could find that was witchy. Was an aura spray. There was all different types of herbs. So, but I just got this little thing of bone set because that's what was needed. The oracle deck, which I'm gonna go through once I'm done going through everything. A witchy spiderweb belt, a wind chime, and an orca agate crystal for a psychic fair and witch's market. Like I'm saying, it could just be against me because there's like a lot of cups and tumblers for sale and different like handmade soaps and a lot of like fake plants like put together in like vases. Not that anyone did anything bad whatsoever. It was really cute to see because it was a lot of like, it was more of like a witchy arts and craft thing than more of like a psychic fair and witches market. But they did have like some reading and or photography upstairs. Just weird for me because like I've been going to these types of events for years and years and years. In the past year and a half, I've noticed like that shift where it feels like things have become more of like a witchy gift shop. Like the stuff that they were selling there, you know, is super duper cute. Like they have stationaries and books you could use for like your books of shadows. Sorry, I'm pulling up my next bag so we could go through it while I'm talking. And really cute clothing stuff, but like it was all kind of mixed in together. Like the clothing has its own rooms and everything, but like I feel like it's more about the aesthetic of being a witch instead of like actually being the witch now. That could just be me because I'm really grumpy and cranky before I drink my coffee. I really hope I don't sound mean because like I love the store, I love the owner. I know her daughter's getting more involved with it too, and her daughter's younger, so that could be maybe parts of it. So she's trying to be like, hey, this is the generation that's coming into witchcraft now, and I'm in a generation that's already been in it, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so I went to Michael's to look at Michael's Halloween stuff, because Michael's is normally, like, on point. But this year, for Halloween, if you haven't heard about it, it's hippie Halloween. Which, you know, for some people, it's going to be a perfect aesthetic for them. It's going to be absolutely perfect. It's just not my personal aesthetic. It was a lot of pinks and oranges, and it reminded me of like tropical colors, like luau colors. And, you know, there were some really cute ghosts with flowers and like, you know, witchy signs and all the like the 70s style flowers. It just wasn't my aesthetic because I like my Halloween to be very like classic, retro 90s, 80s or whatnot. I want him to look like very like 90s and 2000s. I want him to look like the Halloween of like my childhood and me growing up because it's like nostalgia vibe. And everything was just like a lot of neon colors. There wasn't too much spooky stuff, which is fine. Totally fine. Just wasn't my vibe. So I got basically things that weren't fully related to Halloween, but I'm going to be making witchcraft things with them. So I got 2 bags. I don't know how well you can see that with the glare, of blackbird feathers. And then, as you guys all know, I love pumpkin, and they had this room mist called pumpkin streusel, and it smells so good. Oh my goodness. It smells like a pumpkin pie that is like just coming out of the oven. Like not just like the cliche pumpkin pie smell, but like that warm, cozy feeling of a pumpkin pie coming right out of the oven. So I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I need it. Anyway, so then I went to At Home, which is my fail-safe for Halloween things, and obviously I got some Halloween stuff, which is going to be just my normal home decor Halloween stuff because there was a lot of witchcraft stuff. Not gonna lie, it made me a little bit sad that I was able to find more of my witchy aesthetic stuff and more stuff that I was looking for at a home decor shop than I could for one of my witches stores that I've been going to for a long time during a psychic fair. That kind of made me sad. But it's totally okay. The market's not just tailored to me. I completely get that. Normally I could find anything, and this year was a little bit hard. Anyway, at home Halloween haul. Look at this classic black cat that I got standing on top of a pumpkin. Like, this one I want to put up all year round. Just because he's so cute. Look at that face. He's like, meow, 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 meow. Oh my gosh. He like almost matches my coffee cup. Do you see it? They're twins. Oh, they're brothers. It was meant to be. I didn't even realize that. Oh, see, this is what happens when I don't drink my coffee. This is the most chaotic haul video ever. I'm literally just putting everything in my bed right next to me. That isn't even made. Anyway, next thing. The only thing I don't like with the decor shops, everything has glitter. There's glitter on this. But it says, I love curse words. And as you know, I'm a witch. I'm not Wiccan. So I do all forms of magic, offensive and defensive. So I thought this was super cute. I just don't like the glitter. I'm probably going to take off all the glitter because it's already shedding. It looks like fake snow. I'm not putting that on my bed. I have a thing for spooky coffee mugs. I collect coffee mugs. Look at this one. Look how cute it is. Oh my goodness. Oh, I know this is such a glare. Like a whole bunch of ghosts and stuff on it, but I already ended up getting some ghost things anyway. Like this little wooden ghost guy to put on top of my equipment for my paranormal investigations. Because then I have Boobert, you know, my PII sensor. You know, giant motion detector. He's just chilling there. So then I figured I would get this little one too to add in. Where it says beware of ghosts. Actually, I might just put this in my living room. I made a whole bunch of coffin shelves out of popsicle sticks. Because, you know, I'm an adult, so that's what I do. And I might stick that in there. And then my favorite thing that I got at home. I am so obsessed with this. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with this, but look at this candle. Oh. You know what? I'm taking the plastic off so it's not shiny so you can see it. There we go. Look at this candle. Oh my gosh. It has that old school woodwork design on it. Oh my gosh. Like the black flame top. Like the black flame candle. I'm obsessed with this. Absolutely obsessed with this freaking candle. Oh my, and it's a pretty big size too. Oh, let me put a battery in this and see what it actually looks like. Look at that. Sorry for my messy bed in the background. It's like such a beautiful, warm, cozy flicker. And it emits good light. Oh, I am so obsessed with this. This one is my bedroom. My bedroom is very more witchcraft theme. It's like my personal occult library for the occult, the mysterious, like psychology and things like that. And my living room is very much more enchanted, which is forest and cottage. It's upside down. I'm trying to film this while drinking coffee. This is such a mistake. Look at my hair. Look at my brain. Well, you can't see it. I'm glad you guys can't see that, but anyway. The more you look at the box, the more you see. And this is illustrated by Stephanie Law. I've seen other things with her artwork in it. Let's open this. How witchcraft is this? Like, I don't have nails enough to open this, so I'm using... Oh no, it's got kitty fur on it. A chicken's foot. And that nail. And it has feathers on it. In order to open this like it's a freaking letter opener. Didn't even break a nail. Alright, let's see what this looks like. Oh, I see stuff coming out. Oh, wow. Okay, I like that. As legends and druids can tell you, there are places on this planet where the veil between worlds is thin, and the trees are guardians of these sacred spaces. Hey, I was just talking about ley lines and earth magic. Go check out that video, because I actually, all these videos I do from the top of my head, I think of an idea, and then I'm like, I'm going to talk about that. I don't script out a single thing that I say at all. I'm literally just going from my knowledge. And that was the first time I ever scripted out exactly what I wanted to say when I was going to say it. So I was super proud of myself because I didn't rant, I didn't ramble, and I was able to give a whole bunch of information because as I'm writing it, I could see where I left off. This is the book. Oh, wow. Okay, hold on. I have to hold it on a weird angle because of the glare, and I also don't want them to fall out, so I'm hoping that you could see that. Oh my gosh. Beautiful. A little booklet of it. Look at that artwork. This is such a happy little box and home. Oh. So they come shrink wrapped. The edges are gilded. Oh, look at that artwork. All right, so let me open this. Oh, I need my chicken's foot again. All right, there we go. Whoop, whoop. Oh, it's very thick and shiny. Oh, but I like it. So if you look, it can be reversed. You won't know which side is which. That is great. I love that. Hopefully I'm holding this on a spot where you can see them without the glare. So I want you to be able to see them. I'm just going to skim through like the artwork super duper quick. Oh, beautiful. Oh, I know there's a glare. I'm sorry. I'm trying not so hard. I'm working on like an angle. Oh, I love that card. That card in specific. I don't know why I love it, but I love it so much. I wonder what that one means. Oh, I like that one too. Look at that. I was really drawn to the Keeper of Endings. I'm not sure what you guys do when you first get your decks, but to me, depending on the deck, for the most part, I will go through the deck and see what card resonates to me the most. And normally that's like the overview personality of the deck. Again, this is how I do it. This doesn't mean this is how you do it. And then afterwards, sometimes, again, depending on the deck and the personality, I'll interview the deck. In other words, ask them like what type of answers that they're good for, what they think of for certain things, their personality. Because I'm sure all of you guys can attest that even if we all have the same, let's say, let's go with like tarot and Rider-Waite-Smith tarot. We all have that tarot deck, but each one is going to have a different personality. I'm going to quickly look up what that card means. Love how in the book in between there's just beautiful art pages. Alright, this was the card that I was drawn to. Let's see if this is going to be the vibe of the deck. I'm just going to read it out loud. Card 29, the Keeper of Endings. You notice when I read, I go in my customer service voice so my Rhode Island accent doesn't come through? Can you tell I work in customer service? The Keeper of Endings. Force is a place of endings and beginnings, and no one honors the process of ending quite like the Tree Keepers. They carefully watch for the signs of illness, decay, or death, ending what can be mended, letting go of what has served its purpose in the great weave of nature's tapestry. The Japanese word, I might butcher this, I'm so sorry, akaru, means to pierce, to begin, to end. Over and over, we are reminded that endings contain beginnings inside of them, and the piercing of grief creates a sacred opening into our psyche, where new life may pass through. We need to mourn our endings and give the heart the space to process loss. Damn, okay. But be careful not to tread too closely to despair. For a while, ending carries new life inside of it. Despair keeps us from seeing it clearly. Wow, I just got called the fuck out. I keep losing people in my life due to death recently, so it's kind of made me feel even more alone in certain things. So I've just been kind of hyper focused on that because it's just been one after another when you're trying to get through some big ones, and then more just keeps happening and happening until there's not that many people around you left, and it's just completely overwhelming and you're just in the feels because you need to feel it. But then after a while of you feeling, sometimes we think our emotions instead of feeling them, and that gets us into a rut. So I think one that either could have been a specific message just for me, or if anybody else has been going through a loss, it doesn't even have to be a physical loss. It could be like friendships or different other paths in your life. But I think this one is, in other words, going to be like a deeper introspective deck. That's like the vibe that I got from it, which I'm all for. I like that aspect. I like how cards just won't always be happy and fluffy. They'll be real, because while it's nice to have happy and fluffy answers, it doesn't answer anything. And most oracle decks are like happy and fluffy. Most, definitely not all. Definitely not all. But most will be more happy and fluffy compared to tarot, which will be more harsher. So a lot more people are more gravitated to oracle because, one, you know, tarot is universal in a way where, you know, it's always going to be the same cards in the same deck. However, the artwork is going to be different. The personalities are going to be different, all those vibes. But you could read tarot cards for somebody, and if someone knows to read tarot and then you're reading the card, they might have a different perspective of it for you, or some of them don't believe in intuitive reading because the cards have their own meaning. Some are completely nuanced. When I started, I had started with, well, technically playing cards because I couldn't get my own tarot deck. But I had started with playing cards first, and then I had moved into tarot cards for the place that I was learning them. I had an old box of tarot cards that I kept there, but I could take out to bring with me. Because again, when I was learning this stuff, witchcraft wasn't popular. It wasn't like you could just go anywhere and learn about it. There weren't very many shops anywhere. I would practice with my playing cards in my school at lunch, and my friends that went to school with me through middle grade and high school, they'll tell you. And then when I was able to get the tarot deck and bring it to school to practice, everyone freaked out because they were so used to me reading the playing cards. Because the playing cards will have the same adaptation for the most part as tarot cards. They just obviously won't have the major arcana in it. And then my cousin gave me my first, I don't know which one came first. I have a fantasy tarot deck. And then I have the Brian Froud's Fairy Oracle. And I know my Brian Froud's Fairy Oracle came from my cousin. She bought it for me when I was 14 or 13. I was either 13 or 14. Because she passed away shortly after that. When I was like 15 or 16. And I already graduated from my tarot program. But she gave me oracle cards. But I also know I had the fantasy cards, but I don't know which one came first, because I remember trying to use them together. So I don't know. I have, you know, those two decks that are so old now. So old, but they have nostalgia to me. But they both have their own vibe and personality. I do like the feeling and the vibe of this deck, though. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to bond with these in front of my tree and drink my coffee. And I'm going to vibe. I'm very excited over this deck. It's still the same day, but I forgot I had one more bag. So I also went to Joann's, and I forgot to do that. So we still have more to the Halloween haul. I didn't get much more. I just got some basic things. So I got a cute little dish towel. Because I use my Halloween witchy things all year round, which I think most of us do. Then I got some coffee mugs. You say which, like it's a bad thing. Just a little purple one. Matches my bedroom. Not that my coffee cup has to match my bedroom. This one that says, "Don't hex with me before coffee." And it has all the astrological symbols inside. This one, which says, "The moon made me do it." This was all basically kitchen stuff. And then I got this sign right here to put over my entranceway for my kitchen. Hopefully there's no big glare on it. And then lastly, I got a new doormat. Obviously the back is still blank. I put little sigils and talismans on the bottom of my doormats. That way everyone who steps over them have that little extra protection going into my house. Alright, that is the end of the Halloween haul. And witchy market, psychic fair haul, and all that stuff. Okay,